Hey people, I'm fixing to show y'all what was going on in the back room of the mosque. You know, the mosque in bi rectum, the second, the two, the bi and rectum, ass. And you see this word again up here. A little bit different, but the same word number, 3411. And you can see better, it's really receipt here, you know, back in the side recess, flank, the extreme parts, the recess, and really receipt the mosquing. And so this comes from the base word from the skin. You know, you can see here is the dwelling place, you know, you live in the skin. And so the mosque, you know, is from skin. It's just the building, you know, and then from skin and really receipt and back in the cracks, them skinny mitosis. That's how they get this you shall make from this. It's actually just this OS. Everything with the OS, Moses, anything you shall make, create. And mitosis is cell division, multiplication by cell division. Mitosis 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, you know, mitosis. And really recetum, the skinny mitosis, the cell division foursome. Assign foursome to cellum fixate. To cellum fixate from shaken by rectum. Assign to foursome to see, or to sell from fix at the corners, to fix at them, shaken by rectum. The mosque in bi rectum, the secondary room in the back, in the bi rectum. I was looking at this word somewhere else. What brought me here comes up a couple times, 3 times. But on the top here, they say it's dressing up the tabernacle, which the hugest part of the Bible is these misinterpreted religious customs that have the priests in the church looking ridiculous. This tabernacle comes up several times, spelled the same here, but it's never the same word. It's always changed, and you can see down here in 7 a better idea of the base word in this 11 curtains of goat hair. But it's the same base word as shack or succubus, to shack up. All them shack nasty. All them shack nasty. Assure a riot to see at 'em. Was it a riot has 'em less to, you know, less L, less of, less to. And was it a riot has 'em less of. All 'em shack nasty has assure a riot to see at 'em. And when you're reading this with the marks here, you know, this reads backwards, and it's was it a riot has 'em less to. Nick. Nick is the ancient word for Satan, where Santa Claus come from. The old Nixum. Nixum, when you're gonna go nick off a piece of Nick. The Nick is the girl you're gonna go see. Nixum. Go nicks off. Nixum. The old man nicking them all off. Nixum. Them shack nasty. And then backwards again. Here. ERS. The most shack nasty here's assure a riot to see at 'em. Yeah, that's I hear she's a blast. But this chapter has got a bunch of numbers in it. They're teasing the numbers. And you know, this is where sometimes they say it's linen, and sometimes they say it's the fine scarlet thread. But this is 2, you know, and this is 6. You'll see in this same chapter with the same spelling, the 6 and the 2, you know, the sign. But they'll also use a bunch of other words in here. You know, the ace, it's usually the man, is now the one. And that's to fit this word, you know, from self, SLV, from self to SCAL, from self to seal, for binding one to another, from self to seal. So all throughout the Bible, the numbers don't add up. So they change the words around for the numbers. 2 6s, the fine scarlet thread. And then this is the shaman. And everybody knows that the oct was the 8, the oct. But it looks like here in the first line, the problem was crabs. And the cure was, from the scissor. From the scissor, what clit? Where gaming. Gaming, gambling, and taking the chance, So I'm going to try to read all this down real quick, all the way down here to the punchline. But I'm going to start with the punchline so you get a better idea of what this is talking about. And they didn't want to interpret this. They just said it means of, which is the same as the letter L. And so they'll often say the letter M means of. And so they're not interpreting all these other letters for you. There's a reason they didn't want to interpret Bama Brett. But this Bam and Brit, it comes up all throughout here. Is what this poetry talking about. And they just didn't want to put it all together. The Brit and be coupled. Have Rit, the coupled. And the Bama, they say, is cubits. Or Bobama, the 4 cubits.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't bam the young lady.
Well, I'd appreciate it if I did. So I guess we're even.
So on the edge of the curtain, curtains is a word used at the beginning and the end of the play. Usually, in the end of your life, in curtains drawing. And it's areole here. You see half the time it comes up with a T here, as in they riot. And that's when, the curtain closes and everybody starts to cheer. They riot. And so it makes me think, that areole means to raise the curtains. And in septareole, affixing havum ever it has in it. This is havum. It's reading with this H here. To havum Everett, Mount Everett. And down here, Bama means 14. 14, the legal bamming age in Alabama. And a Bam Everett, oh, she's a girl that's good to go. She's a 3-hole. A Bam Everett has in it. She's a bammer. She's hot. I do her. She's a bammer. And so this is a story about their meeting with the devil woman. And they turned into how to dress up the temple. What'em scantus hazer a riot. What'em scantus. Scantus is, she ain't got no clothes on. Barely sufficient or adequate. What'em scantus hazer a riotess. A riotess, let you know it's feminine. A riotess mesure, that's your polite French name for the whore. Mesure what clit, and it comes from scissor, to shave what clit. They're in the profession and they don't want to spread the crabs. And are a game and a tellet. A tellet at snicker. It's snickering them. Over there snickering. And a tell at snickering them from a who's, and snickering them a who's has in to see at it, to see at 'em, and she's giving a little snicker over there. She's giving a clue. What'em scant twos has her a riotess from the scissor what clit, measure what clit to our gaming. It's her game. Our gaming what tell at the sign and crave 'em, the sign crave 'em. They're over there snickering 'em. What tell it the sign crave 'em who's has in to see at 'em. Oh, let me see at it. See at that problem, Adam. Remember down here at the end, it was a sign force 'em to sellum fixate from shacking by rectum. The sign crave 'em, a snicker in 'em, from whose has into see Adam. And hark, Hariol, and hark and call and Ariol, raise the curtain, and hatched, Hacht, and hatched the summon who a sarm. So what he saw the girl in skinny with a snicker, and in his mind, the whole musical has started. Hark the curtains, raise the curtains, hatched, began, and hatched, summon who a sarm. Who's the one talking is the asarm, and I asarms you. And it comes from, the U is read with the last E as in who, and as rhyme. Everything has to rhyme.
Then you say the name again with an M this time. Morning. And there isn't any name that you can't rhyme.
Was rhyme in aim, rich in Arbobama. And so this four here, it's coming from this word read backwards, over, O-V-R-A. And in the overture, it came to mean the first four rows, and it's where the band would sit in front of the play. But it actually means, to let you know what you should be feeling, the overture. The band plays certain types of music to let you know what you should feel. And so here it was, in hark, Ariol, in hatched, the shaman who, as rhyme and aim, a richin' of a overture, and when they start the play, the narrator comes on and he enriches everything in a rhyme to begin the story, to set the overture, R-A-R-B-O-V, Arbovum, the Ariel, Abovum Ariel, Hatchtum a dactyl, Hatchtum a dactyl, airy. You can see it in this word. The I is the feathers in the Egyptian writing. The R is the head or the eye, a flying eye, the aerial, and hatched from a dactyl, a finger, a dinosaur with a finger, a dactyl, and from a dactyl, a clariot. And a clariot is a church official, from a dactyl, a clariot, somebody pointing the fingers, telling what to do at the church, a clariot. The aerial hatched him a dactyl, a clariot. You see it in all these old Solomon seals. And this arm, usually see it coming out of the cloud in all the old alchemy. The hand of Jehovah, the U. All them secret codes in the dactyl. He's a clarodactyl. What scantus hazer, arietism sazer. Arietism is her what clit. Arietism what is her clit. And argamen what'll at snickering enema who's has in to see Adam. Hark, Ariol, the act shaman. And so I believe they're getting this shaman, from men. Men was this ancient game, and you'll see this symbol from anywhere from 5 to 10 humps on it. And it was the symbol of men. And this tells off a bunch. Somebody didn't like it. You could see that somebody had carved all this out of this stone, is what they have you believe. This hard stone. All this has been recessed. And somebody didn't like it, and they was trying to hack his pecker off, and they couldn't do that. But when you look down here at the bottom of it, you see this not even stone. It's just a layer of plaster put on a lesser stone underneath it. This was all molten when it went on. The archaeologists can't tell the difference these days because they don't realize that they had cut it all with acid. And he symbolizes men and men, the right hand, amen, and the minimum and the men. It was called this game of Senate here. But when you see the whole name, you can see it says sent, the sent your men, sent men. You see here, the sent men. So this word oct, I don't even think oct means 8. I think it means hatched. And the 8 shaman that were hatched, was the octode, was the first creators. The 8 shaman. They were frogs and snakes. They were all hatched. And hark to Ariel, and call the upper, up in your brain, the Ariel hatched to come out. The summon who, as a rhyme, inaimed a richen are above 'em. Ariel hatched from dactyl, a clariot. And comes the heritage in ever to select, which'em see reattach the British all leapt. And so this is all the same, you see, from here to here, almost all the same points. And comes heritage in Everett to select. The heritage Tigein means, downstream. Tigein, downstream of the city. In the future, coming downstream. And riot is a debauched living, a debate to quarrel. And it comes their heritage in to be, riot, to riot in the future as their heritage. And comes the heritage in ever to select, SEALACHT, to select. And who comes see Rio, RIOTCH, to reattach, and shall be coupled the curtains, and to be reattach, to reattach a British, BRTASH, of the British, and AELACHT, elect, the British elect. And was it Liliat? This is a LLI. Anytime you double up letters, you're just coming from Egypt. The rule is a double letter follows by a Y. The Liliat. A bunch of loops look like a picture of a lily. And was it Lily at tickled all? The scepter y'all. And a yole, a Y-O, and there's an L between the L and the E, the yole. And that's that ancient boat that you see all the ancient Egyptian gods in. It's a Piro, and it's where your word Piro come from. You see that Piro in there, R-I-O-E. And was it Lily at tickled all scepter y'all? Hatched 'em fix. And bitchover tooken, T-U-K-N, the B-C-H-V-R-T, bitchover tooken to see incept, Ariel, affixin, have much British in it. So to better understand this, you have to understand that every time somebody got thirsty in the Bible, they went to the bar and they drank beer. The bar. They'll have you think that all this Bible story was in a desert somewhere, but there was bars all the way. And you see it thick over here in Genesis 29:10, and this is where Jacob met Rachel at the bar. The parents of Israel, the mother and father of Israel, met at the bar. And Rachel was an old bar whore, and the gal what having from all pie the bar. She done kissed everybody in the bar, from all pie the bar. We squat. When you go to water at the bar, we squat. S-Q-U-A-T. We squat, it's on. And to receive what, to receive what? Having all pie the bar of Macomb. So I'll get into that in the next movie. I started this a couple of days ago and lost my train of thought. So I'm going to read this full chapter again and figure out where I was. And I'll put another part up here. I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.